Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever thought about keeping honeybees, you are in exactly the right place. I am absolutely thrilled to walk you through this material because today I'm kind of acting as your professional mentor. We're going to take a very honest, practical look at beekeeping, and we're doing this before you spend a single dime on bees or equipment. Keeping bees can be incredibly rewarding, for sure, but it's also a year-round responsibility. It involves living colonies, changing seasons, and yes, occasional losses. So before you start adding anything to an online shopping cart, we're going to explore the realities together. Okay, let's dive into this. Our agenda today gives you a clear, step-by-step path. 1. An honest introduction. 2. Meet the honeybee colony. 3. The readiness scorecard. And 4. Your responsible next step. Section 1. An honest introduction. Right off the bat, I want to be perfectly clear about our goal here. This explainer is a transparent decision-making tool. It is not a sales pitch for a shiny new hive. It's really important to demarcate the line between what we're doing today and actual, full-scale operational training. What we're exploring right now is based on the Is Beekeeping Right for You workshop from Blackwater Honey. This is specifically a decision-making orientation. We're looking at costs, time commitments, and seasonal realities. It is entirely separate from their comprehensive beekeeping basics course. So today is all about giving you clarity, not mastery, so you can answer one fundamental question. Do I actually still want to do this? Section 2. Meet the honeybee colony. To make a truly realistic self-evaluation, we first have to ground ourselves in biological reality. Think about it this way. The hive is just the wooden equipment. The colony is the bees themselves. And this brilliantly illustrates our first major concept. A honeybee colony functions as a complex social system. It's what we call a superorganism. You aren't just owning a box of bugs here. You're caring for a unified living system. A colony's population, its food needs, and its behavior, they all dramatically change from the spring buildup right through the intense heat of summer and into their winter preparation. Having a successful start totally depends on understanding that living system. Let's look a little closer at the individuals inside that superorganism, starting with the queen. She is easily identifiable by her unique, long, tapered abdomen. Now, her primary role is as the egg layer for the colony. And get this, she can sometimes lay up to 2,000 eggs in a single day at the height of spring. That's literally an egg every few seconds. Now, here's a crucial tip for beginners. While it's always super exciting to spot her, seeing the queen is not actually required every time you inspect a hive. What you're really looking for is evidence that a colony is queen-right, things like the presence of healthy eggs and developing brood. Next up, we have the worker bee. Workers represent the entirely dedicated female workforce. Their roles within the hive are just fascinating because they dynamically change based on their age. A worker bee will actually shift from tasks like nursing the young brood over to doing comb work, then to guarding the hive entrance, and finally, she'll graduate to foraging outside for nectar and pollen. They are the true engine that keeps the whole colony running. Now, what's really interesting about this next one is the drone bee. You can easily recognize the male drone by his very large eyes and stout body. Drones serve a strictly reproductive role. Because they don't forage or defend the hive, colonies will actually evict their drone population before winter hits. It's their way of conserving precious food stores. Absolutely no freeloaders allowed during the cold months. Section 3. The readiness scorecard. Now that we understand the living creatures we'd be responsible for, it's time for a methodical self-evaluation. I'm going to carefully walk you through 10 criteria. As I read each one, I want you to mentally score yourself. Give yourself a 0 if it's not true, a 1 if it's partly true, or a 2 if it's completely true. Ready? Number 1, I can commit time during the busy spring periods when swarm pressure is high. Number 2, I can fund the startup costs plus an emergency replacement reserve. Number 3, I have or can secure a responsible hive location with safe access. Number 4, my household supports this plan. Number 5, I am willing to regularly inspect, keep notes, and make timely decisions. Number 6, I can lift heavy boxes safely, or I have a solid plan for assistance. Number 7, I accept that colonies can fail, even despite my dedicated care. Number 8, I am willing to learn current pest and disease management, especially for threats like the varroa mite. Number 9, I have a mentor, a club, or a support pathway to help me out. And number 10, I can manage neighbor relations, animal threats, water sources, and general safety considerations. All right, tally up your mental numbers out of a maximum of 20. Section 4, your responsible next step. Let's move to and see how this builds into your responsible next step and interpret that score you just calculated. So the crucial point is understanding what your number actually means. If you scored between 16 and 20, you have a strong foundation. You are ready to continue learning. If you scored between 10 and 15, well, your situation is promising, but you have specific barriers you need to resolve first. And if you score between 0 and 9, you should pause your purchase and strengthen your plan. I want to reassure you right now, a lower score is incredibly useful information. It is not a failure. Honestly, it protects you, it protects your wallet, and most importantly, it protects the bees. Based on that scorecard, there are 3 distinct outcomes. Outcome 1, you want to continue toward keeping bees, which means signing up for comprehensive training. Outcome 2, you're interested, but you need to solve specific barriers first. Things like finding a better location or maybe saving up an emergency fund. Outcome 3, beekeeping is just not right for you right now, and you choose to support pollinators in another way, like planting a pollinator garden. The beauty of this workshop is that any of these 3 decisions is completely successful and highly responsible. And that brings us to our final question for today. What is your responsible next step? Before you ever put a bee suit, a hive tool, or live bees into an online shopping cart, I want you to choose one definitive decision, commit to one concrete action within the next 30 days, and identify one question you still need answered. Maybe your action is finding a local beekeeping club, or maybe your question is about local property rules. Whatever it is, take that step first. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I'll leave you with this thought. Are you ready to become the steward of a superorganism? Or is your greatest contribution to the bees simply knowing when to step back and plant a beautiful garden instead?